Hey everybody, I'm Rachel K. Collier. In today's video, I'm super excited to show you how I made a full produced track just using the Arturia Microfreak and my voice. Now this was part of a way bigger project with Andrew Hwang.
4 producers, 1 synth.
So me, Andrew, Cuckoo and Red Means Recording have all made a track just using the Microfreak and, if we wanted to, our voices. So after you've watched this video, definitely go and check it out if you haven't seen it already. Otherwise, let's get to it. Let me break it down for you guys. So the first thing I wanted to do before I jumped into my DAW and wanted to start building my track was to see what tools I had to work with the Microfreak. So scrolling through loads of presets, I came across some pretty cool bass sounds, some synth sounds, and a couple of drum kind of patches, but I knew I would want more to work with, so I decided to have a massive sampling session with the Microfreak. I basically turned every knob and recorded everything I did in the hope to create a great drum rack. So this little sample from the Ravers preset number 10, just put a little bit of a drum bass on them to make these cool kind of tom sounds. I managed to make this thuddy little kick here from preset 79, Arp Zap, with a little bit of Ableton's drum bass and the XLN Audio's drum shaper. From preset 120, I got this cute little tom sound. From preset 95, don't know how to pronounce it, Boers, I think it's called, I managed to create these little snare sounds. The original preset is actually a bit more of a bass sound, but by playing with the digital oscillator type, you can actually chop it down and get something funky like this. And then I got a funky little hi-hat sound from preset 140, Hats Maker. Turn off the ARP, and that will be my hi-hat sound. Then when I felt like I had enough hits to get me going, I put them all into a drum rack in Ableton. I started experimenting in Ableton Session View. Just got something basic on the go. And then I came across this super cool sound, 169, called Pats. The little sequence, and I thought that sounded kind of cool with my drums. Then I found this really cool sound, toy piano. And that's when I decided to hook up another MIDI controller so I could play it a little bit more easily. 1, 2, 3, 4. I added a cheeky little reverb and some LFO. And then I started experimenting more and also started vibing out some gibberish vocals. I thought this sounded cool for an A section, but then I needed to think of a B section too, and this is when I experimented a little bit more with different bass presets and found this amazing preset, 114, called Fate of Freaks. Then I really wanted to progress the rhythm, so that's when I started to experiment with the Microfreak's vocoder. I found these old little headphones and realized that they had a mic built in. Found this cool preset called Gated Community, preset number 212. Did a couple of takes with this, just making like hi-hat sounds. Then I chopped a little tiny sample of it and made myself like a little swung hi-hat, which I then doubled up with my first hat sound that I made earlier on. To progress this B section even further, I then started experimenting with a vocal. And then back to my A section. And then I also even started experimenting with like a link from an A to a B section, which I ended up ditching. When I had this really rough outline of like an A and a B section, that's when I decided it was time to go to arrange view and get real. So I sketched out a super rough arrangement with just the bare minimal parts that I had, the drums, the toy piano, the pats, bass and telephone sound that I recorded earlier. And then I wanted to really craft the lyrics and write kind of a song. And the telephone noise kind of inspired me a little bit to actually write about internet trolls. Then I did a massive vocal recording session. I'd look too bad you cry, can't go down alone. I also recorded a huge stack for the chorus vocals. Jared, I ain't read it, all gon' sweat it, micro-freaking out. So I thought for ages whether actually singing micro-freaking out did sound quite cheesy, but in the end I thought it was the perfect word and fitted perfectly with my concept of, even though, you know, I'm being trolled, I actually don't care at all. I'm micro-freaking out. So yeah, and then I played around with the super cool Antares Avox mutator plugin to get the whole little freaking out. I also added a stack of harmonies in the second verse with a load of auto-tune. You can try but you'll fail to harm me, I'm not an explosive. So once I had all my lead elements for my track, then I wanted to start diving in and making it a bit more flowery, adding some more glitchy sounds, some nice pads, and really filling out the whole production. So yeah, let's check out some of those pad sounds. I found this really cute one. It's called Saying Goodbye. Played a little bit with the shape here and turned down the cutoff, and then added a little bit of reverb, EQ'd it slightly. I made a couple more pad sounds with the vocoder. I also created this cool Arp with preset 75. Beefed things up a little bit more with preset 191, some soft brass, with a little touch of devil lock. And then I chopped up loads of the pad sounds that I recorded to make some glitchy little effects throughout the song. I felt super inspired by all the cool pad sounds that I created, that also inspired me to create this really chilled out breakdown section. The epic brass sound is just preset number 1. Tripled up with a tremolator, some more reverb, a chorus. Then moving on to the outro, guys, it felt a little bit repetitive going back to that original bass line, so I really wanted to try and come up with something else. Using the same bass sound, this Fate of Freaks, which is really awesome, I came up with something like this. Added some processing. And then I found this super cool sound on the Microfreak called Unstable Solo, number 60. And this totally inspired me to play a solo. But whereas I'd recorded like everything else in this production just with audio, I knew that I wanted to actually record the audio but also like play with some of the parameters. So I decided to actually record this in MIDI. I then sent the MIDI from Ableton back into the Microfreak and recorded the audio, and I could do it multiple times while also playing with the parameters while that MIDI plays. Check it out. Just go crazy! But obviously I did it with a bit more style than that. I also layered it up 3 times. Processed the hell out of it. Mainly with my UAD compressors, the Fairchild, also the Fatso Senior, also put a bit of the Sound Toys Decapitator on it. Obviously had to EQ it because it was pretty freaking mental. It's the Microfreak after all. Automated some Echo Boy on there as well. Then panned the 3 parts, left, right and center. I then spent a while, guys, diving in and giving it a good old mix, trying to get rid of some of the unwanted bass frequencies, bookending frequencies a little bit more, loads of EQ. I also made some funky little sends, like this C send here, Valhalla Room, which then I could create these cool, like, reverb freeze tails. I also added some cheeky little extra mouth percussion at the end, just to add some extra flavour to my drums. It sounds so terrible by itself. But I think it's okay in the mix. So there it is, guys. Really hope you like my track and you can excuse me on my cheesy lyrics. I've put them in my description below if you want to check them all out. Also, if you want to get your hands on this Ableton session, then head over to my Patreon right now. Massive shout out to Andrew Hwang and Arturia for having me as part of the show. Also shout out to Cuckoo and Jeremy, who've also uploaded their own walkthroughs on their channels. Go and check them out now. If you guys want to learn Ableton Live, then also check out my course, link in the description. Otherwise, thank you for watching and supporting. Lots of love. Mwah.